Life often feels like an endless pursuit of fulfillment, a race where every stride feels heavy and every milestone seems just out of reach. We're constantly told to do more, strive harder, and push ourselves beyond our limits. But what if I told you that your breakthroughs don't lie in doing more? Sometimes the greatest transformations happen when we stop repeating patterns that sabotage us, stop feeding mindsets that hinder us, and stop behaviors that quietly steal our joy and potential. This is about reclaiming your life by recognizing what no longer serves you. It's about shedding the unnecessary weights that drag you down and stepping into a lighter, freer, and more intentional existence. There are 4 things, specific yet universal, that most of us unknowingly do every single day, 4 things that are keeping us from the life we truly desire. You'll not only know what these are, but you'll also feel empowered to let go of them immediately. Because once you do, the life you've been chasing will no longer be just a dream. It will start flowing toward you with ease. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in quicksand? The harder you try, the deeper you sink. You set goals, chase dreams, and yet something always feels off. You're working hard, maybe even harder than those around you, but the results don't reflect your effort. Why? The answer is deceptively simple. It's not what you're doing. It's what you refuse to stop doing. You see, success isn't just about action. It's also about elimination, removing the roadblocks, the habits, the beliefs that quietly sabotage your every step. But here's the twist: the things holding you back are often invisible to you. They're so ingrained in your routine, your mind, your identity, that you don't even question them anymore. They've become a part of your story, whispered by fear, reinforced by doubt, and validated by a world that thrives on conformity. What if I told you that the very behaviors you think are helping you might actually be hurting you? That they're not tools, but chains. And that with every passing day, those chains grow heavier, not because life is against you, but because you're holding on to what no longer serves you. In the next few moments, I'll reveal 4 things you must stop doing immediately. Not tomorrow, not when it's convenient. Now, because these 4 things are costing you your dreams, your peace, and your power. The moment you let them go, you'll feel a shift not just in how you move through the world, but in how the world moves toward you. But I must warn you, recognizing these 4 things might make you uncomfortable. Change always does. It's not easy to admit that we've been our own biggest obstacles, but discomfort is the birthplace of growth. If you lean into it, you'll find a clarity that will change your life forever. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you won't just understand what's been holding you back, you'll be ready to break free. One of the most subtle yet destructive ways we sabotage ourselves is by saying yes when deep down we mean no. Every time you agree to something that feels wrong in your gut, you're betraying yourself. You're handing over a piece of your time, energy, and spirit to something that doesn't align with your values, your desires, or your purpose. And here's the truth: those pieces add up. The more you give away, the less of yourself you have left. Why do we do this? Fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of rejection. Fear of disappointing others. Fear of being seen as selfish. But let me tell you something: it's not selfish to protect your peace. It's not selfish to say no to what drains you so you can say yes to what fuels you. In fact, it's one of the greatest acts of self-respect. When you constantly say yes out of obligation or guilt, you're allowing others to dictate your life. You're handing over your power and letting someone else write your story. You're telling the universe that your needs and dreams come second. And when you do that, don't be surprised when the world treats you as an afterthought. But when you start saying no, something incredible happens. You reclaim your boundaries. You create space for what truly matters. You tell the world and yourself that your time and energy are valuable. It's not easy at first. You might feel guilty. People might push back, especially those who have grown accustomed to your constant availability. But remember, every no you give to something that doesn't serve you is a yes to something greater. Think about this: how many times have you said yes to avoid conflict, only to feel resentment later? That resentment isn't just a feeling, it's a message. It's your soul telling you that you strayed from your truth. Listen to that voice. It's there to guide you. The most successful, fulfilled people in the world aren't afraid to say no. They understand that their energy is finite and precious. They know that every time they say yes to something, they're saying no to something else. The question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Your dreams, your peace, your authenticity? Start small. Practice saying no to one thing today that doesn't align with your values or goals. Feel the discomfort and let it pass. Because on the other side of that discomfort is freedom. The freedom to live life on your terms. The freedom to prioritize what truly matters. The freedom to be unapologetically you. Comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, your peace, and your sense of self. It's the silent enemy that creeps into your mind every time you scroll through social media, see someone else's success, or witness someone achieving what you think you deserve. But here's the truth: comparison is a lie. It tricks you into believing that someone else's journey is more valuable than your own. It blinds you to your unique path and makes you forget the magic that resides within you. Why do we compare ourselves? Because we've been conditioned to measure our worth based on external achievements. From a young age, we're taught to compete, to rank ourselves, to believe that life is a zero-sum game. But life isn't a race, it's a masterpiece. And every masterpiece is unique. Comparing yourself to someone else is like comparing a sunrise to a starry night. Both are breathtaking in their own way, and neither diminishes the beauty of the other. When you compare, you're focusing on the surface. You see someone's highlight reel and compare it to your behind-the-scenes struggles. You see their victories, but not the battles they fought to get there. You see their confidence, but not the doubts that haunt them at night. You see their success, but not the failures that paved their way. Understand this: your journey is yours alone. No one else has lived your life, faced your challenges, or dreamed your dreams. No one else has your perspective, your talents, or your potential. When you compare yourself to others, you're diminishing the uniqueness that makes you extraordinary. You're saying, what they have is better than what I can create, but that's not true. What you can create is unmatched because it comes from you. The key to breaking free from comparison is gratitude. Focus on what you have, not what you lack. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Every step forward is a victory. Every lesson learned is a gift. Every moment of growth is a testament to your resilience. When you focus on your own journey, you'll realize that you have everything you need to succeed. The people you're comparing yourself to aren't your competition, they're your proof that it's possible. If they can achieve greatness, so can you. Use their success as inspiration, not as a measure of your worth, because your worth isn't. One of the most insidious habits we fall into is seeking validation from others. We crave their approval, their acknowledgement, their praise. We measure our worth by the words and actions of those around us, as though their opinion holds the key to our self-esteem. But let me tell you this: no one's validation will ever fill the void inside you. That void can only be filled by recognizing your own worth. Why do we seek validation? Because we've been taught that our value is external. From childhood, we've been rewarded for pleasing others, for meeting expectations, for earning approval. Over time, we internalize the belief that we are only enough when someone else tells us so. But chasing validation is a losing game. It keeps you running on a treadmill, expending energy without ever reaching a destination. Here's the truth: the approval you seek from others is a reflection of the approval you've withheld from yourself. When you don't believe in your own worth, you outsource that responsibility to the people around you. But their validation is fleeting. It can lift you momentarily, but it will never sustain you. And the moment it's withdrawn, you're left questioning your value all over again. You must stop handing over the power to define your worth. Your value is not up for debate. It's not something others can grant or take away. It exists because you exist. The very fact that you are here, breathing, living, dreaming, is proof of your inherent worth. No one else's opinion can change that. When you seek validation, you give others control over your life. You make choices based on what will please them, not what will fulfill you. You shrink yourself to fit their expectations, even when it feels wrong in your soul. And in doing so, you abandon the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself. Start practicing self-validation. Look in the mirror and affirm your own worth. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. Trust your instincts and honor your desires. When you stop seeking validation from others, you'll find a freedom you've never known. You'll move through life with confidence, unshaken by criticism and untouched by praise. Because you'll know that your worth doesn't depend on anyone else, it's a truth you carry within you. The past has a way of clinging to us, doesn't it? We replay our mistakes, relive our regrets, and let our failures define us. But dwelling on past failures is like carrying a heavy backpack full of stones. You'll never move forward if you're weighed down by what's behind you. The more you focus on the past, the more you allow it to dictate your present and future. It's time to put the backpack down. Why do we dwell on failure? Because failure stings. It bruises our ego and shakes our confidence. We think if I just analyze it enough, I'll figure out where I went wrong. But there's a fine line between learning from the past and living in it. Reflection is productive, rumination is paralyzing. When you constantly relive your failures, you're not learning, you're imprisoning yourself in a cycle of self-doubt. The truth is, failure is not the end of the road. It's a detour. It's a teacher. Every failure carries a lesson, but it's up to you to extract it and move on. The longer you dwell, the longer you delay your growth. Understand this: failure is proof that you tried, that you stepped out of your comfort zone, that you dared to dream. It's not a mark of shame, it's a badge of courage. Your past failures don't define you. They are chapters in your story, not the whole book. You are not the same person you were when you failed. You are wiser, stronger, and more resilient. Every time you fall, you rise with more knowledge and perspective than before. But to embrace that growth, you must let go of the pain, the regret, and the what-ifs. Think about it: the most successful people in the world have failed, often spectacularly. They didn't let those failures stop them. They used them as stepping stones to greater heights. You can do the same. The key is to stop seeing failure as an ending and start seeing it as a beginning. Overthinking is the silent killer of dreams. It's that incessant voice in your head that second guesses every decision, analyzes every possibility, and conjures up every worst-case scenario. Overthinking doesn't solve problems, it creates them. It keeps you stuck in a loop of doubt and fear, paralyzing you from taking the very actions that could transform your life. Why do we overthink? Because we fear making mistakes. We want to avoid pain, disappointment, or failure. But in trying to predict and control every outcome, we end up doing nothing. And doing nothing is the greatest failure of all. Life isn't meant to be lived in your head, it's meant to be experienced with all its messiness, uncertainty, and beauty. The truth is, you'll never have all the answers. You'll never know every possible outcome. And that's okay. Certainty is an illusion. What matters is that you take action despite the uncertainty, because action is what creates clarity. The more you move forward, the clearer the path becomes. But you'll never see that path if you're stuck in the quicksand of overthinking. Think about how much time and energy you waste replaying the same scenarios in your mind. What if you redirected that energy toward action? What if, instead of analyzing every possible outcome, you trusted yourself to handle whatever happens? You are far more capable than you give yourself credit for. You've overcome challenges before, and you'll overcome them again. Trust in your ability to adapt and grow. Overthinking robs you of the present moment. While your mind is busy spinning in circles, life is happening right in front of you. Opportunities are passing by. Joy is being overlooked. Don't let the fear of making a wrong decision prevent you from making any decision at all. Even a wrong decision teaches you something valuable. It moves you forward. It's better than standing still. The antidote to overthinking is action. Start small. Make one decision today without agonizing over it. Commit to it fully, no matter the outcome. With every decision you make, you'll build confidence in yourself. You'll realize that you don't need to have everything figured out, you just need to keep moving forward. Life rewards those who take bold steps, not those who hesitate at the edge. Let go of the need to overthink. Trust yourself. Take the leap. The life you're dreaming of is waiting for you, but you have to stop thinking and start living. Fear is a powerful force. It whispers in your ear, warning you of danger, failure, and rejection. It convinces you to stay small, to avoid risk, to play it safe. But fear, while it feels real, is often just a mirage. It's a projection of your mind, not a reflection of reality. And when you let fear control your actions, you're giving it the power to dictate your life. Why do we let fear take the reins? Because it's uncomfortable to face it. Fear taps into our deepest insecurities and vulnerabilities. It makes us question our worth and our abilities. But here's the truth: fear isn't meant to stop you, it's meant to guide you. It points you toward the areas where you need to grow. It shows you where your greatest opportunities lie. When you let fear control your actions, you're not avoiding failure, you're guaranteeing it. The opportunities you miss, the chances you don't take, the dreams you leave unexplored, they are the true failures. Fear might keep you safe, but it also keeps you small. And you were not born to play small. You were born to expand, to create, to thrive. The key to overcoming fear is not to eliminate it, but to act in spite of it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward even when fear is present. Every time you face a fear, you shrink its power over you. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than the limitations your mind tries to impose. Think about the times in your life when you were most alive, most fulfilled. Were they moments of comfort, or were they moments when you stepped out of your comfort zone? Growth happens on the other side of fear. Every great achievement, every profound transformation, every bold decision, it all begins with the courage to face fear head-on. Fear is a natural part of the human experience. It will always be there, but you have a choice. Will you let it hold you back, or will you let it propel you forward? The life you want, the dreams you carry, the person you aspire to be, they're all waiting for you on the other side of fear. But you have to take the first step. Stop letting fear control your actions. Feel the fear, acknowledge it, and then move forward anyway. Because every time you do, you're not just overcoming fear, you're reclaiming your power. And that power is what will take you to places you've never imagined. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's the silent destroyer of confidence, ambition, and peace of mind. When you compare yourself to others, you're fighting a losing battle because you're measuring your life against an illusion. What you see of others is only the surface, a carefully curated snapshot of their reality. But what you see of yourself is the whole, unfiltered truth. And that truth, my friend, is more than enough. Why do we compare ourselves to others? Because society trains us to. From a young age, we're taught to measure success, beauty, and worth against others. Social media has only magnified this tendency, bombarding us with highlight reels that make us feel like we're falling behind. But here's what you need to remember: someone else's success does not diminish your own. Someone else's path has nothing to do with yours. You are running a race that no one else can compete in, because your journey is uniquely yours. When you compare yourself to others, you're not just wasting time, you're robbing yourself of your own potential. You're focusing on what they have instead of appreciating what you've built. You're letting envy cloud your vision, distracting you from your own growth. Every moment spent comparing is a moment lost from creating, achieving, and becoming the person you're meant to be. Think about this: no one else has your exact talents, dreams, or experiences. No one else sees the world the way you do. And no one else can accomplish what you're here to accomplish. The very act of comparison ignores this fundamental truth. It forces you to overlook your own brilliance and try to mold yourself into someone else's image. But you were not designed to be a copy. You were designed to stand out. Breaking free from comparison starts with gratitude. Focus on what you have, what you've achieved, and what you're capable of. Celebrate your small victories. Remind yourself that your journey is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. That's the only competition that matters, becoming a better version of yourself every single day. When you stop comparing, you'll discover a freedom you've never known. You'll stop feeling less than and start embracing your more than. You'll realize that your worth isn't tied to someone else's success. It's inherent, it's untouchable, and it's yours. How many dreams have you delayed because you're waiting for the perfect moment? How many opportunities have you let slip by because you didn't feel ready? The idea of perfection is a trap. It convinces you that you need all the stars to align before you can take action. But let me tell you a truth that will set you free. There is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is the one you create by starting right now. Why do we wait for perfection? Because we're afraid of failure, rejection, or imperfection. We think, if I wait until everything is just right, I can avoid the risk, but in reality, waiting doesn't eliminate risk, it multiplies it. The longer you wait, the more you overthink, the more you hesitate, and the more opportunities you let pass by. Perfectionism isn't a shield, it's a cage. The truth is, you'll never feel 100% ready. You'll never have all the answers or all the resources. But you don't need to. Progress doesn't come from perfection, it comes from action. Every step you take, no matter how small or imperfect, brings you closer to your goals. Waiting for the perfect moment keeps you stagnant, but embracing the imperfect moment propels you forward. Think about the people you admire, the innovators, the leaders, the dreamers. Did they wait for everything to be perfect before they started? No. They took the leap, often before they felt ready. They embraced the unknown and trusted themselves to figure it out along the way. And that's what you must do too. The world doesn't reward perfection, it rewards persistence. It rewards those who take risks, who dare to fail, who show up even when it's messy and uncertain. The perfect moment isn't a point in time, it's a mindset. It's the decision to act, to start, to move forward despite the imperfections. So stop waiting. Start writing that book. Launch that business. Pursue that dream. You don't need the perfect moment, you just need the courage to begin. Because once you take the first step, you'll realize that the path unfolds as you walk it. The momentum you create will carry you further than any perfect plan ever could. And before you know it, you'll be living the life you were waiting for. But it all starts with one imperfect, beautiful step. We've journeyed through 4 critical things you must stop doing immediately to unlock the life you desire: doubting yourself, seeking validation from others, overthinking every decision, letting fear control your actions, comparing yourself to others, and waiting for the perfect moment. Each of these habits is like an anchor, holding you back from the vast ocean of possibilities that await you. But the good news is, you hold the power to cut those anchors loose. Life isn't waiting for you to be ready, to feel perfect, or to get someone else's approval. Life is waiting for you to decide. Decide that you are enough as you are. Decide that your dreams are worth the risk. Decide that your happiness isn't tied to anyone else's perception or timeline. Understand this: every moment you hesitate, every time you cling to doubt, fear, or comparison, you're letting your power slip away. You are more capable, resilient, and extraordinary than you give yourself credit for. The time to act is not tomorrow. It's not when things feel easier or less scary. It's now. If you let go of these 4 habits, you'll find a freedom you've never known. You'll discover that you are not bound by circumstances or other people's opinions. You are bound only by the limits you place on yourself. Release those limits. Step into the life that's been waiting for you all along. So I leave you with this: you are the author of your story. No one else can write it for you. And the best chapters, the ones filled with triumph, growth, and joy, begin when you stop holding yourself back. Take the pen, take the leap, and write the masterpiece your life was always meant to be. Now go, live boldly, and take your rightful place in the world. The stage is yours. Life often presents us with circumstances that seem immovable, challenges, setbacks, and realities that appear to dictate the limits of our success, happiness, or peace of mind. But what if I told you that the circumstances surrounding you have no real power over you unless you give it to them? What if the things you see as obstacles are merely reflections of what you believe to be true? Today, we're going to explore a profound truth: your circumstances are not your destiny. They are fleeting, ever-changing, and entirely malleable to the power of your mind. The moment you stop giving attention to what is and instead focus on what could be, everything begins to shift. So, if you've ever felt stuck, defeated, or held captive by your environment, stay with me. We're about to unravel how you can transcend any situation and create the life you truly desire. You're standing in a room with no doors, no windows, just four walls surrounding you. It feels inescapable. You might think, this is where I'm stuck. But then something strange happens. You close your eyes, and in your imagination you begin to see a door where there wasn't one before. You visualize a path leading you out of the room. When you open your eyes, something inside you knows deep down that the door exists, even if you can't see it yet. This is the power of perspective, the power of belief. Now, let me ask you this: are your current circumstances any different from that room? You might look at your bank account and think, this is it, or maybe your health, your relationships, or your career seems stagnant, like those four walls. But what if the walls were never real? What if the limitations you're experiencing are only there because you've accepted them as immovable? Here's the truth: most people miss circumstances only hold power if you give them attention. The moment you shift your focus from what is to what could be, those walls start to crumble. Let me take you deeper into this idea, because it's not just theory, it's a transformative practice. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll see how the reality you want is already within reach, waiting for you to claim it. Circumstances are like clouds passing through the sky, ever changing, fleeting, and powerless to remain unless you fix your gaze on them. The life you live today is not a life sentence, it is simply a snapshot of the beliefs you've held up to this moment. Every condition you face, no matter how overwhelming or oppressive, is temporary by its very nature. The challenge is not in changing the circumstances, it's in believing that they can change. Think about this: the most successful individuals, the most resilient people, did not achieve greatness because they were handed perfect conditions. They started where you are, with obstacles, setbacks, and so-called immovable barriers. What made the difference was their refusal to accept those conditions as permanent. The only thing permanent is your inner state, and when that state changes, the outer conditions must follow. Consider the seasons. Winter may seem endless, but spring always comes. It is not your job to fight the winter or resist its cold embrace. Your job is to prepare yourself for the inevitable arrival of spring. In the same way, the circumstances you face now, whether it's financial hardship, a broken relationship, or a stagnant career, are not your final chapter. They are the winter before your spring. Many people surrender to the illusion of permanence because they see only what is visible to their senses. But let me remind you, the visible world is nothing more than the byproduct of your inner world. What you see today is simply the manifestation of yesterday's thoughts and beliefs. If you allow yourself to believe that your current circumstances are fixed, you give them permission to linger. But the moment you truly decide that they are temporary, you set a new process in motion. Imagine a mountain climber standing at the base of a towering peak. The height may seem insurmountable, the path treacherous, but the climber knows this truth: the mountain is not eternal. With each step, the peak draws closer, the obstacles diminish, and the once unthinkable becomes inevitable. You too are that climber. Your circumstances are the mountain, and though they may appear formidable, they are no match for the power within you to rise above them. So, don't attach yourself to the difficulty of the present moment. Don't let temporary setbacks define your future. Circumstances are merely the backdrop of your life, they are not the script. And here's the secret: the pen to rewrite that script is already in your hand. All you need to do is stop fixating on what is and start focusing on what you want to create. Your circumstances are waiting for you to outgrow them. They're like an old pair of shoes that no longer fit. You don't mourn the loss of those shoes, you step into something new. In the same way, every difficulty you face today is an invitation to rise, to expand, and to step into a higher version of yourself. Never forget the power to transcend your circumstances does not lie outside you, it lies within. Circumstances are temporary because you are eternal, and nothing external has the power to outlast the force of your will, your imagination, and your belief in what's possible. What you focus on expands. This is not just a catchy phrase or a motivational mantra, it's a universal truth that governs your life. Your focus is the architect of your reality, the painter of your experience, the builder of your future. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, and what you give energy to, you bring to life. Think of your mind as a magnifying glass. Whatever you point it at, you intensify. If you focus on problems, they grow larger and more consuming. If you focus on possibilities, they begin to take shape, opening doors where there were once walls. This is not wishful thinking, it is the law of cause and effect. Your thoughts, powered by focus, are the seeds you plant in the soil of reality. Whether you nurture weeds or flowers is entirely up to you. Here's the challenge: most people allow their focus to be hijacked by their circumstances. They wake up each day and immediately tune into their struggles, their fears, and their doubts. They replay the same narrative, reinforcing the very things they wish to escape. But you must understand this: focusing on your current circumstances is like staring at a wound and expecting it to heal. Healing begins when you shift your focus to health, to wholeness, to the vision of yourself free from pain. Think of a ship navigating through a storm. The captain doesn't fixate on the waves crashing against the hull, they keep their eyes on the horizon, the destination. Your life is no different. Focusing on the storm of your circumstances only keeps you trapped in its chaos. But the moment you fix your attention on the horizon, on the life you desire, you begin to steer your ship toward calmer waters. Here's a powerful exercise: close your eyes and think of something you deeply desire. Visualize it as if it's already yours. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the fulfillment of having it. Now notice what happens to your energy, your mood, your state of mind. That shift is the power of focus. It's the spark that can ignite transformation. What you focus on is not just a mental activity, it's a signal you send to the universe, a declaration of what you're ready to receive. When you focus on abundance, you invite it into your life. When you focus on lack, you build a home for it to dwell. Choose wisely, because your focus is not just a reaction, it's a creation. Let me make this clear: it's not enough to casually wish for a better reality. You must focus on it with the intensity of a laser beam. You must train your mind to see only what you want, not what you fear. This takes discipline, yes, but it also brings freedom, the freedom to create a life that reflects your deepest desires instead of your temporary circumstances. Your focus is your superpower. It's the tool that shapes your world, transforms your challenges, and turns your dreams into reality. Master it, and you'll master your life. Imagination is the most powerful tool you possess. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Your circumstances may appear solid, immovable, and unchangeable, but they are nothing compared to the creative force of your imagination. The world you experience is not shaped by the external conditions you see, but by the images you hold within your mind. Let me ask you this: how often do you let your imagination run wild, but in the wrong direction? How often do you imagine worst-case scenarios, replay past failures, or anticipate obstacles? This misuse of imagination binds you to the very circumstances you wish to escape. But here's the truth: your imagination does not discriminate. It brings to life whatever you feed it, whether it's your deepest fears or your boldest dreams. Imagine standing in front of a blank canvas. What you paint on it becomes the reality you live in. If you keep painting the scenes of your current struggles, you will remain trapped in them. But if you dare to imagine yourself free, successful, and fulfilled, you begin to create a masterpiece of transformation. Imagination is not a passive activity, it is an act of creation. When you visualize a new reality with clarity and conviction, you plant the seed for its manifestation. Think about the inventions, achievements, and breakthroughs that have shaped the world. None of them existed in the beginning. They were born in the imagination of someone who refused to accept their current circumstances. the light bulb, the airplane, even the idea of exploring space, these were impossible until someone imagined otherwise. And just as they transformed their reality, so can you. The key is to use your imagination intentionally. Don't let it wander aimlessly, replaying the conditions you want to escape. Instead, focus it like a laser on the life you desire. Close your eyes and see yourself living in abundance, joy, and freedom. Feel the emotions of having already achieved it. Your imagination is not a fantasy, it's a preview of what's possible. Here's something remarkable: your imagination has the power to override your current circumstances entirely. When you immerse yourself in the vision of your desired reality, your subconscious mind begins to accept it as true. And when your mind believes something to be true, the world around you will adjust to match that belief. The walls of limitation you once saw will crumble, revealing opportunities and pathways you never thought possible. Your imagination is infinite. No matter how difficult your circumstances may seem, they cannot withstand the limitless potential of your mind. Use your imagination not to escape reality, but to create a new one. The power to rise above your circumstances lies within you, waiting to be unleashed. Your emotional attachment to obstacles is what keeps them alive. When you react to a challenge with fear, frustration, or doubt, you feed it with your energy. You give it power over you. The moment you detach emotionally from your obstacles, you strip them of their strength and reclaim your power. Consider these emotions are like fuel. Whatever you direct them toward, you energize and sustain. If you pour your emotions into anger over a financial setback, you only deepen the experience of lack. If you focus your emotions on worry about a failing relationship, you reinforce the discord. But when you withdraw your emotional investment from these situations, they lose their grip on you. They no longer dominate your thoughts, actions, or life. Detachment does not mean indifference or apathy. It means refusing to let external conditions dictate your inner state. It's about maintaining your peace, your confidence, and your vision, regardless of what's happening around you. Think of a tree in the middle of a storm. The wind may howl and the branches may sway, but the roots remain grounded, unshaken. Detachment is your root system, anchoring you in strength while the storms of life pass overhead. When you detach emotionally from obstacles, you open the door to solutions. Emotional entanglement clouds your judgment and narrows your perspective. It keeps you focused on the problem instead of the possibilities. But when you step back and look at the situation with clarity and calm, new pathways become visible. You start to see the challenge not as an insurmountable wall, but as a stepping stone toward growth. Here's the secret: obstacles are neutral. They have no inherent meaning until you assign one to them. When you approach them with frustration, they become barriers. When you approach them with detachment, they become opportunities. Imagine looking at a puzzle. If you focus on the frustration of not knowing where a piece fits, you remain stuck. But if you detach from the frustration and calmly examine the puzzle, the solution reveals itself. Detachment also frees you from the illusion of control. So often we try to force circumstances to change, only to exhaust ourselves in the process. But true power lies in releasing the need to control and trusting that the situation will resolve itself when you align your thoughts and actions with the desired outcome. Detachment is not about giving up, it's about letting go of the emotional weight that keeps you tethered to the problem. By detaching emotionally, you shift your focus from resistance to possibility. You reclaim the energy you once wasted on frustration and use it to fuel your vision of a better reality. Obstacles lose their hold on you because they no longer define your state of being. They are simply challenges to be met, not prisons to be endured. Detach and watch how quickly the obstacles dissolve. They cannot withstand the power of a calm, focused mind. Every time you dwell on your problems, you breathe life into them. Problems are like shadows, they have no substance of their own, but they seem real when you focus on them. The more attention you give them, the more imposing they appear. But the moment you withdraw your focus, they begin to shrink, revealing the light that was always present behind them. Here's the truth: problems are not inherently powerful. They derive their power from the energy you give them. When you talk about your problems, think about them incessantly, or complain about them to others. You amplify their presence in your life. It's as though you're watering weeds in your garden while expecting flowers to grow. Your life will flourish not when you obsess over what's wrong, but when you shift your attention to what's right and what's possible. Think of a fire burning in a forest. If you keep feeding it with wood, it will rage on, consuming everything in its path. But if you stop fueling it, it will eventually burn out. Your problems are the same. Feeding them with fear, doubt, and attention only keeps them alive. But when you starve them of energy, they lose their grip and fade away. Stopping this cycle requires a conscious decision to reclaim your focus. Every time you catch yourself dwelling on a problem, interrupt the pattern. Redirect your thoughts to a vision of the solution, the outcome you desire. This shift is not about ignoring reality, it's about refusing to let the problem define you. Problems are temporary, your power to overcome them is eternal. So take back your power. Problems do not control you unless you let them. They are nothing more than invitations for growth, challenges to sharpen your character, and stepping stones to the next level of your journey. Refuse to be consumed by them. The moment you stop giving power to your problems, you reclaim control over your life. How often have you hesitated, doubted yourself, or held back because of what others might think? External opinions can feel like chains, binding you to a version of yourself that is not true to who you are. But here's the liberating truth: no one's opinion has the power to define you unless you give it permission. The opinions of others are just that, opinions. They are shaped by their own beliefs, experiences, and limitations, not by your potential. Yet so many people allow these external judgments to dictate their choices, dampen their confidence, and stifle their dreams. If you live your life constantly seeking approval or avoiding criticism, you are surrendering your power to those who have no stake in your success. Imagine you're a bird in a cage and the door is open. The only thing keeping you inside is the belief that the opinions of others are more important than your freedom. But the moment you realize that you are the one holding the key, you can step out and soar. Living for the approval of others is like chaining your wings to the ground. You were not meant to live small, you were meant to rise. The reality is, people will always have opinions. They will judge you whether you succeed or fail, whether you take risks or play it safe. Their opinions are not a reflection of your worth, they are a reflection of their own fears and insecurities. Recognizing this truth is the first step to breaking free from the influence of external voices. Consider this: every great innovator, leader, or trailblazer faced criticism and doubt from others. If they had let those opinions define them, the world would never have seen their genius. They succeeded because they chose to listen to the voice within rather than the noise around them. You have that same choice. You can either be molded by the opinions of others, or you can be guided by your inner vision. This doesn't mean you must shut out all feedback or dismiss others entirely. It means discerning which voices align with your purpose and which ones distract you from it. Constructive criticism can be valuable, but it's your inner guidance that must take precedence. Trust that voice above all else. When you detach from external opinions, you reclaim your authenticity. You no longer feel the need to conform or shrink yourself to fit someone else's expectations. You become free to live boldly, to take risks, and to pursue the life you truly desire. Opinions are fleeting, your truth is eternal. Hold on to that, and let it guide you toward the life you are meant to live. Gratitude is the antidote to every challenge you face. It has the power to transform your perspective, elevate your energy, and rewrite the story of your life. When you focus on gratitude, you shift your attention away from what is lacking and toward what is abundant. And here's the secret: whatever you focus on expands. Gratitude creates a ripple effect, attracting more of what you appreciate into your experience. Imagine you are holding a magnifying glass. Whatever you point it at becomes larger and clearer. If you direct it toward your problems, those problems will dominate your thoughts and grow in size. But if you point it toward the blessings in your life, no matter how small, they will begin to shine brighter, revealing the richness of your existence. This is the power of gratitude. It doesn't change your circumstances, it changes your perception. And that shift can alter your entire reality. Start small. Even in your darkest moments, there is always something to be grateful for. The breath in your lungs, the sun rising in the sky, the opportunity to start anew, these are gifts that many overlook. Gratitude doesn't require grand gestures or monumental achievements. It thrives in the simplicity of the present moment. When you cultivate an attitude of gratitude, you begin to see miracles in the mundane. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a practice. Take a moment every day to reflect on what you are thankful for. Write it down, speak it aloud, or simply feel it in your heart. The act of acknowledging your blessings shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. It reminds you that, no matter how challenging life may seem, there is always something working in your favor. Here's the remarkable part: gratitude not only changes your internal world, but also influences your external reality. When you approach life with a grateful heart, you emit a positive energy that attracts opportunities, relationships, and experiences aligned with that vibration. People are drawn to those who radiate gratitude because it is a sign of strength, contentment, and resilience. When you make gratitude a habit, your circumstances begin to lose their power over you. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, you celebrate what's right. Instead of feeling stuck, you feel empowered. Gratitude is the foundation of faith, the belief that even in the midst of challenges, there is a greater purpose unfolding. And when you hold on to that belief, you open the door for transformation. So, let gratitude be your guide. Focus on what you have, not what you lack. Celebrate the progress you've made, no matter how small. Embrace the blessings that surround you and watch how your life begins to shift in extraordinary ways. Gratitude is not just a practice, it's a superpower that can reshape your reality. Life is not meant to be a smooth, unbroken path. It's a journey filled with twists, turns, and hurdles designed to help you grow. Think about the strongest trees. They don't thrive in perfect weather. They grow in storms, bending but not breaking, their roots deepening with every gust of wind. Your challenges are the storms that strengthen your foundation. When you face a challenge, your initial reaction might be resistance or fear. But what if you could shift your perspective? Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Every challenge carries a lesson, a hidden gift waiting to be discovered. It may teach you resilience, patience, or the courage to step out of your comfort zone. These lessons are the stepping stones that elevate you to the next level of your journey. Think about the people you admire, the visionaries, the leaders, the pioneers. None of them achieved greatness without overcoming challenges. Their struggles were not roadblocks but stepping stones. The adversity they faced became the foundation of their success. You, too, have this potential. The challenges in your life are not the end of the story, they are the beginning of a new chapter. Here's the secret: challenges are a test of your faith and determination. They ask, how much do you want this, and are you willing to grow to achieve it? When you rise to meet these challenges, you prove to yourself and the world that you are stronger than any circumstance. And in that process, you uncover a version of yourself you never knew existed, one that is powerful, capable, and unstoppable. But how do you turn challenges into stepping stones? It starts with perspective. Instead of focusing on the difficulty, focus on the growth it brings. Instead of dwelling on the discomfort, embrace the opportunity it provides. Remember, diamonds are formed under pressure, and so are you. Every challenge you face is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. When you adopt this mindset, challenges lose their ability to intimidate you. They no longer feel like barriers but opportunities for transformation. You begin to see that every setback is a setup for a comeback, every failure a foundation for success. With this perspective, you can face any challenge with confidence, knowing that it is leading you to something greater. So the next time you encounter a challenge, don't see it as a dead end. See it as a stepping stone, a necessary part of your journey toward greatness. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it to propel yourself forward. Challenges are not here to stop you, they are here to strengthen you. As we bring this journey to a close, remember this: your circumstances are not the masters of your destiny. They are fleeting, ever-changing, and powerless against the strength of your mind and spirit. What truly defines your life is not what happens to you, but how you choose to respond. You are not here to merely survive the storm. You are here to rise above it, to rewrite the script, and to claim the life that is already yours. When you stop paying attention to your circumstances, you unlock a power within you that is limitless. The world may try to dictate your worth, but your true value lies in the vision you hold and the belief you cultivate. You are the creator of your reality, and every thought, every focus, and every action shapes the world you step into tomorrow. Challenges will come, but they are not here to defeat you. They are here to refine you, to mold you into a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. Let gratitude guide you, let your vision inspire you, and let your unwavering faith in what is possible lead you. This is how you transcend your circumstances and step into the life you were born to live. So today, make a decision. Decide to reclaim your power, to stop giving life to your problems, and to rise above the opinions of others. Choose to see challenges as stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. Focus on what you desire with unwavering conviction, and let gratitude fuel your journey. As you walk this path, remember that greatness is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about holding on to your vision, even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. It's about trusting that your power to create is greater than any circumstance that seeks to define you. The time to act is now. Stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions. They may never come. But you don't need perfection, you only need belief. Step forward with the confidence that everything you need is already within you. Trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor, aligning every step to lead you toward your highest purpose. There is a sacred power that resides in your private life, the life within, untouched by the opinions and judgments of others. This private life, this internal world of thoughts, emotions, and imagination, is where your destiny is shaped. It is here, behind closed doors, where the seeds of your future are planted. The external world is but a mirror reflecting what you nurture in your inner world. The power of internal reality is a concept that transcends the idea of mere thoughts influencing your life. It speaks to the very essence of who you are and the world you create from within. The internal reality is your mental and emotional landscape, the space where your consciousness interacts with your desires, fears, and beliefs. This realm, though unseen by others, is the birthplace of everything you experience. It is the canvas upon which you paint your reality. To understand the full scope of this power, we must first recognize that the external world is a reflection of your internal state. Everything you see, hear, and feel is an expression of the consciousness you carry within. What you believe about yourself, the world, and the people around you ultimately shapes your perception and dictates the experiences that come your way. The mind, in its infinite potential, does not just react to the external, it actively creates it. What you dwell on in your internal world manifests in the outer world, because your internal reality is not separate from the external, it is the very force that shapes it. Think of your mind as a field where seeds of thoughts are sown. These thoughts grow and take form, influencing your actions, your behavior, and even the outcomes you experience. The quality of your thoughts, whether they are abundant, loving, positive, and empowering, or fearful, negative, and limiting, directly affects the world you live in. If you constantly entertain thoughts of lack, failure, and insecurity, these will show up in your external reality, creating experiences that mirror your inner turmoil. On the other hand, if you choose to focus on abundance, confidence, and joy, your external world will reflect those vibrations, bringing experiences that are in harmony with your elevated state of being. The power of internal reality is in your ability to consciously control your thoughts, your emotions, and your beliefs. This control is not about forcing your mind to think in a specific way, but about learning to navigate your consciousness in a way that aligns with your desires and goals. You have the ability to choose your thoughts at any given moment. This is the most empowering realization one can have. The thoughts you think and the beliefs you hold are not fixed. They can be transformed, adjusted, and realigned to serve the life you want to create. The moment you shift your internal reality, you shift the trajectory of your life. It is important to realize that your internal reality is constantly at play, even when you are not consciously aware of it. Your subconscious mind is the driving force behind much of what you experience. The subconscious mind does not differentiate between positive and negative. It simply accepts what is impressed upon it, whether it comes from external influences or your own internal dialogue. This is why it is crucial to be mindful of what you allow to enter your mind. The more you allow negative or limiting beliefs to take root, the more they will grow and manifest in your life. However, when you consciously reprogram your mind with positive affirmations, uplifting thoughts, and empowering beliefs, you align your inner world with the life you wish to experience. Your imagination plays a crucial role in shaping your internal reality. It is through imagination that you can experience, create, and live in the state of your desires before they manifest in the physical world. Imagination is not just a tool for daydreaming or escapism. It is the creative force that brings into being the things you desire. The more vividly you can imagine your ideal life, the more real it becomes in your internal world. As you repeatedly imagine and emotionally charge these visions with belief and feeling, your internal reality shifts, and you begin to align with the external manifestations of those desires. When you truly grasp the power of internal reality, you begin to see how much control you have over your life. You no longer feel like a passive participant in the world, waiting for things to happen to you. Instead, you recognize that you are the creator of your reality. You are the architect of your life, and the blueprint lies within you. The power you possess is not in changing the external world, but in changing your perception of it. By transforming your internal reality, you automatically transform your external experiences. This does not mean that external events will always align immediately with your internal changes. The external world operates on a different time frame, and sometimes the results take time to manifest. However, the key is in the certainty that as your internal reality evolves, so too will the external. It is an inevitable law that cannot be denied. Your internal reality is your greatest ally. It is the source from which all things flow. By taking control of it, by choosing the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that align with the life you wish to create, you hold the key to unlocking a life of abundance, peace, and fulfillment. The world outside will always mirror the world inside. It is time to look within and recognize the incredible power you possess to shape your reality through the thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold, and the imagination you cultivate. As you master your internal reality, you will witness the transformation of your external world, and everything you desire will naturally unfold. Your thoughts are far more than fleeting, abstract notions that pass through your mind. They are the building blocks of your reality. What you think, believe, and imagine consistently creates the life you experience. Every moment of every day, your thoughts shape your world, influencing your actions, your decisions, and the opportunities that arise. The importance of guarding your thoughts cannot be overstated, for they are the gateway through which your desires either manifest or remain elusive. The mind, in its vast potential, is like a garden. What you plant in this garden will grow, but it is up to you to decide what seeds you sow. If you allow negative or destructive thoughts to take root, they will sprout and manifest in your life in ways that reflect the nature of those thoughts. Likewise, if you plant thoughts of abundance, success, and love, they will flourish, creating a life filled with those very qualities. The key is to be mindful of what you are planting. If you do not consciously guard your thoughts, your mind may become overrun with weeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, which will prevent the flowers of your desires from blossoming. Every thought that you entertain carries an emotional charge. Whether you are thinking positively or negatively, your thoughts evoke feelings within you, and those feelings are powerful. They are the energy that propels you into action or inaction, and they magnetize experiences to you that match that emotional vibration. For example, when you entertain thoughts of lack or fear, your emotional state shifts to one of tension, anxiety, or frustration. These emotions then guide your actions, perhaps causing you to hold back from opportunities or withdraw from situations that could lead to growth. The law of attraction responds to your emotional state, and when you are radiating fear or scarcity, you attract more of the same. On the other hand, when you guard your thoughts and choose to think thoughts of empowerment, abundance, and success, your emotional state shifts accordingly. You begin to feel confident, optimistic, and ready to take on the world. Your energy aligns with your desires, and the universe responds by bringing you opportunities, experiences, and people that match your elevated emotional state. This is why it is essential to be conscious of your thoughts at all times. The world is a mirror that reflects the image you hold in your mind. If you want to see changes in your external circumstances, you must first change your internal state by guarding the thoughts that form the foundation of your inner world. One of the most powerful ways to guard your thoughts is by becoming aware of the thoughts that arise in your mind. Often we are unaware of the negative or limiting thoughts that pass through our consciousness. They may be so ingrained in us that we accept them as truths, but they are not. These thoughts are not facts, they are simply habits of mind that have formed over time. The first step in guarding your thoughts is to become aware of them. Pay attention to the patterns in your thinking and notice when thoughts of fear, doubt, or negativity arise. Once you are aware of them, you have the power to change them. The next step is to consciously replace these negative thoughts with positive, empowering ones. This takes practice, as the mind has a tendency to return to its default patterns, but with persistence, you can retrain your mind to focus on the thoughts that serve you. When a thought of lack or fear enters your mind, immediately replace it with a thought of abundance or confidence. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I will never succeed," replace it with, "I am capable, and success is on its way to me." The more you practice this, the more natural it will become, and soon you will find that your default thoughts are more aligned with your desires and goals. Another powerful way to guard your thoughts is to be mindful of the people and environments you expose yourself to. Your thoughts are not solely influenced by your inner dialogue, they are also shaped by the external world. The conversations you have, the media you consume, and the people you interact with all contribute to the thoughts that populate your mind. If you spend time around people who are constantly negative or fearful, their energy will influence your thoughts. Similarly, if you watch television shows or read books that promote scarcity, lack, or violence, these ideas will seep into your consciousness. Therefore, it is important to protect yourself from these external influences. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, and choose media that aligns with the positive, abundant life you wish to create. Guarding your thoughts also involves letting go of limiting beliefs. These beliefs are often deeply rooted in your subconscious, and they can hold you back from achieving your true potential. You may believe that you are not worthy of success, or that you must struggle to achieve your desires. These beliefs, while not consciously chosen, have been ingrained over time, often through past experiences or external programming. To guard your thoughts, you must begin to challenge and replace these limiting beliefs with empowering ones. When a belief arises that tells you that success is not possible, or that you are not enough, counter it with a belief that affirms your worth and your ability to succeed. Guarding your thoughts is an ongoing practice. It requires awareness, discipline, and patience. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you guard your thoughts, you are actively shaping your reality. You are creating a life that reflects your highest desires and most empowering beliefs. Your mind is a powerful tool, and when you use it consciously and wisely, it becomes a force that works in harmony with you, bringing your dreams into existence. Imagination is often seen as a whimsical escape from reality, a playful activity reserved for children or dreamers. However, its true power lies in its ability to shape and create the very fabric of our lives. Imagination is not merely a tool for fantasy, it is a silent, potent force that works behind the scenes of our consciousness, molding our experiences and realities in ways we may not even fully understand. It is the power to envision a life that transcends the limitations of the present moment, to bring into existence what was once only a thought, a feeling, or a dream. At its core, imagination is the ability to see beyond the physical world, to create mental images of things that have not yet materialized. It is the act of stepping into a realm where the constraints of time, space, and logic no longer hold sway. In this realm, anything is possible, and every desire, every goal, and every dream can be realized. The beauty of imagination is that it operates quietly in the background of our minds, unnoticed by the conscious world around us, yet it is the source of all creation. The silent power of imagination lies in its ability to influence our thoughts, emotions, and actions without us even realizing it. When we imagine something vividly and with emotion, we are essentially impressing that vision onto our subconscious mind. This subconscious mind, which governs much of our behavior, then begins to align our actions and decisions with the images and emotions we have planted in it. Over time, these mental images begin to materialize in our physical reality, not because they were forced or willed into existence, but because our imagination worked silently and continuously to bring them into being. Imagination is the bridge between the unseen world of thought and the seen world of physical reality. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. When you vividly imagine yourself in a state of wealth, health, or success, your mind interprets that image as a real experience. It does not matter that the physical evidence may not yet be present. Your imagination, when accompanied by strong feelings and belief, sends a message to your subconscious that begins to influence your actions and the opportunities you attract. The universe in turn responds to the vibration you are emitting, and your outer circumstances begin to shift to match the inner reality you have created. Many people unknowingly limit their potential by underestimating the power of imagination. They focus only on what is physically present and what can be immediately perceived with the senses. However, those who understand the silent power of imagination recognize that the external world is a reflection of the internal world. The more clearly and vividly you can imagine the life you desire, the more real it becomes in your experience. Your imagination becomes the blueprint for your future, drawing the elements of your dreams into your physical existence. The key to harnessing the power of imagination lies in the emotional energy you invest in it. It is not enough to simply picture an image in your mind. You must feel as though it is already real. Emotion is the fuel that propels imagination into the realm of manifestation. When you imagine a desired outcome with intense emotion, whether it is joy, excitement, gratitude, or peace, you activate the creative forces within you. These feelings are the language of the subconscious mind, and they communicate to your deeper self that this imagined scenario is not only possible, but inevitable. This emotional engagement amplifies the power of your imagination, accelerating the process of manifestation. One of the most profound aspects of imagination is its ability to shape your perception of reality. Often we view the world through the lens of past experiences, limiting beliefs, and external circumstances. However, when we begin to use our imagination to create new mental images and visions of possibility, we begin to see the world in a different light. We start to notice opportunities that we may have previously overlooked, and we become more attuned to the synchronicities and signs that guide us towards our goals. Imagination shifts our perception, allowing us to break free from the confines of our current reality and step into a world of infinite possibility. While imagination is a quiet, often unnoticed force, its impact is undeniable. The world around us, from the clothes we wear to the buildings we live in, to the technology we use, was once nothing more than an idea in someone's mind. Every creation, every innovation, every success story begins with imagination. The silent power of imagination is the unseen hand that shapes our world, turning thoughts into things, dreams into reality, and desires into tangible experiences. To tap into the full potential of your imagination, it is essential to cultivate a sense of inner trust and belief. Trust that your imagination is not just a fleeting fancy, but a powerful tool for transformation. Allow yourself to visualize your goals with clarity and confidence, knowing that they are already in the process of being created. Engage fully in the experience of imagining, feeling the emotions as though the vision is already real. The more you practice this, the more effortless it becomes to bring your dreams into reality. The silent power of imagination is a gift that resides within each of us. It is a force that is always at work, shaping our lives according to the images we hold in our minds. By consciously and deliberately harnessing the power of imagination, we can create lives filled with abundance, joy, and fulfillment. The more we allow ourselves to dream, to imagine, and to feel the reality of those dreams, the more our external world will align with our inner vision. It is through the quiet, subtle power of imagination that we create the life we are destined to live. Self-reliance and solitude are often misunderstood as states of isolation or disconnection from the world. But in reality, they are powerful forces that allow us to tap into our true potential. To be self-reliant is to trust in your own abilities and judgments, and to cultivate an inner strength that is not dependent on external validation or the influence of others. Solitude, on the other hand, is not about being alone in a physical sense, but about embracing the quiet moments where you can hear your own thoughts, reflect on your desires, and align yourself with your deeper purpose. When combined, self-reliance and solitude create an environment for personal growth, clarity, and inner peace. In a world that constantly seeks external validation, it is easy to forget the importance of relying on yourself. From an early age, we are taught to look to others for answers, to seek guidance from parents, teachers, and peers. While seeking wisdom from others is valuable, there is an innate power within us that can often go unnoticed when we are constantly looking outside for direction. True self-reliance is built upon the understanding that you possess everything you need within you. It is about having the confidence to trust your intuition, make decisions based on your own wisdom, and face challenges with the knowledge that you have the inner resources to overcome them. Self-reliance is not about rejecting others or their help. It is about recognizing that while others can offer guidance, support, and encouragement, the ultimate responsibility for your life lies with you. No one knows you better than you know yourself. You are the one who understands your desires, your strengths, and your limitations. By developing self-reliance, you become empowered to shape your own path, free from the fear of others' judgments or opinions. This allows you to live authentically, making choices that align with your true self, rather than conforming to external expectations. Solitude plays a crucial role in this process of self-reliance. In solitude, you have the space to hear your own thoughts without the noise of the outside world. It is in these quiet moments that you can access the clarity and insight necessary to make important decisions and connect with your inner guidance. Solitude allows you to disconnect from the distractions of daily life, creating the mental and emotional space to reflect on your purpose, your goals, and your vision for the future. In these moments of solitude, you are not alone, you are with yourself, discovering your true essence, your desires, and the strength that resides within you. Solitude is a necessary companion for those who wish to cultivate self-reliance, because it enables you to become comfortable in your own company. Many people fear being alone because it forces them to confront their own thoughts, fears, and insecurities. However, embracing solitude is an opportunity to develop a deep sense of self-awareness. It is a chance to explore your thoughts and emotions without judgment, to process unresolved issues, and to nurture the inner peace that is necessary for personal growth. Solitude allows you to become your own best friend, someone you can rely on for comfort, wisdom, and guidance in moments of uncertainty. Self-reliance and solitude are not about being independent to the point of isolation. It is about recognizing that your power and strength come from within, and that you can find peace and clarity when you give yourself the time and space to connect with your own inner world. When you are comfortable in solitude and trust yourself fully, you will find that your relationships with others become healthier and more fulfilling. You no longer seek validation from others, but rather you approach relationships from a place of wholeness, knowing that you are enough on your own. The practice of self-reliance and solitude also enables you to tap into your creativity and inner wisdom. When you are constantly surrounded by the noise of the world, it is easy to become distracted and disconnected from your own ideas and inspirations. Solitude provides the mental clarity needed to access your creative potential. Whether you are working on a personal project, seeking a solution to a problem, or exploring a new path in life, solitude gives you the space to think deeply and explore ideas without interruption. It is in these quiet moments that many great insights, innovations, and breakthroughs occur. Living a life of self-reliance and embracing solitude also requires cultivating patience and discipline. It is not always easy to trust yourself and be comfortable in your own company, especially in a society that often values constant social interaction and external approval. However, the rewards of self-reliance are immeasurable. By learning to rely on yourself, you develop resilience, confidence, and a sense of inner peace that is unshakable. Solitude, when embraced fully, offers the opportunity to connect with your inner truth and to live life on your own terms, free from the influence of outside forces. In a world that constantly demands our attention and pulls us in multiple directions, it is essential to carve out time for self-reliance and solitude. These practices allow us to reconnect with our true selves and gain clarity about what we truly want in life. Through self-reliance, we learn to trust our instincts and make decisions that align with our deepest desires. Through solitude, we create the space for introspection, growth, and creativity. Together, they empower us to live authentically, confidently, and independently, forging a path that is uniquely our own. The more we embrace these practices, the more we realize that the power to shape our lives lies within us, waiting to be discovered in the stillness and quiet of our own being. The law of attraction is a principle that suggests that like attracts like, and that the energy we emit through our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs has the power to attract corresponding experiences into our lives. It is often understood as a tool for manifesting desires, but its true power lies in the alignment of our inner world with our external reality. Internal alignment refers to the harmony between our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, which is essential for the law of attraction to work effectively. When we are internally aligned, we send out a clear and consistent vibration to the universe, drawing to us the experiences, people, and opportunities that match our internal state. Understanding the connection between the law of attraction and internal alignment is key to harnessing its transformative power. At the core of the law of attraction is the idea that everything is energy, including our thoughts and emotions. Our thoughts are like magnets, constantly sending out vibrations into the universe, which in turn attract experiences that resonate with those vibrations. If our thoughts and feelings are negative, focused on lack or fear, we attract more of the same. Conversely, when we focus on positive thoughts, gratitude, and abundance, we draw experiences that reflect these higher vibrations. The law of attraction, however, is not simply about thinking positive thoughts. It is about aligning our entire being, our beliefs, emotions, and actions with the reality we wish to create. Internal alignment is the process of ensuring that all aspects of ourselves are working together to manifest our desires. This involves tuning our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs to be in harmony with the outcomes we seek. If, for example, you desire financial abundance, but subconsciously believe that money is hard to come by, or that you do not deserve wealth, your internal alignment is off. You may think about prosperity, but your beliefs and emotions contradict those thoughts, sending mixed signals to the universe. As a result, your external circumstances do not reflect the abundance you desire. When you achieve internal alignment, your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings work in concert, and your vibrational energy becomes a powerful force that draws in your desires. One of the most important aspects of internal alignment is self-awareness. In order to align your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with your desires, you must first become aware of what is going on inside you. Many of us carry subconscious beliefs that we are not fully aware of, and these beliefs can create resistance to the manifestation of our desires. For example, if you believe that you are not worthy of love or success, your actions and reactions will reflect that belief, keeping you stuck in patterns that do not serve you. Self-awareness allows you to identify these limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones that support your goals. Another key element of internal alignment is emotional resonance. Emotions are a powerful driving force behind the law of attraction. When we feel good, we are in alignment with our desires because we are emitting a high vibration. Emotions such as joy, gratitude, love, and excitement are the frequencies that attract positive experiences into our lives. On the other hand, emotions like fear, doubt, and frustration are low-frequency vibrations that attract more of the same. It is essential to cultivate positive emotions and maintain an elevated state of being in order to align with the abundance you seek. Practices such as meditation, gratitude, and visualization can help shift your emotional state and keep you in alignment with your desires. The law of attraction is not a passive process, it requires action. Internal alignment also involves aligning your actions with your desires. When your thoughts and emotions are aligned, your actions naturally follow suit. If you are visualizing yourself living in abundance, but are not taking the necessary steps toward achieving your goals, you are not fully aligned with your desires. The universe responds to the energy you put out, and if you are taking inspired action in the direction of your dreams, you send a powerful message to the universe that you are ready to receive. Action reinforces your belief in the law of attraction and helps bridge the gap between your inner vision and your external reality. Trust is another critical aspect of internal alignment. When you are aligned with your desires, you must also trust that the universe will deliver them in perfect timing. Doubt and impatience can create resistance, which blocks the flow of abundance. Trusting the process and surrendering to the timing of the universe allows you to stay in alignment with your desires without forcing or controlling the outcome. This requires a deep sense of faith and the understanding that everything you desire is already on its way to you. Internal alignment and the law of attraction are not one-time events, they are continuous practices. The more you align your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions with your desires, the more you strengthen your ability to manifest your goals. Over time, this alignment becomes natural and effortless, and you begin to attract experiences that match the vibration you consistently send out. The universe responds to the energy you emit, and when you are in perfect alignment with your desires, there is no limit to what you can manifest. To truly harness the power of the law of attraction, it is essential to focus on internal alignment. This requires constant self-reflection, emotional awareness, and trust in the process. When you are aligned with your desires, you become a powerful magnet for everything you want to attract into your life. The law of attraction is not just about thinking positive thoughts or setting intentions, it is about embodying the energy of what you want to create and allowing the universe to respond in kind. By aligning your inner world with your outer desires, you unlock the full potential of the law of attraction, transforming your life in ways you never thought possible. Protecting your energy is one of the most important practices for maintaining mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being in a world that often demands more than we can give. Every day we are surrounded by people, situations, and environments that either uplift or drain us. While it is natural to want to help others and be there for those in need, we must also recognize that our energy is a finite resource. If we do not take the time to protect it, we can quickly find ourselves depleted, overwhelmed, and disconnected from our true selves. Protecting your energy involves setting boundaries, being mindful of your emotional responses, and taking deliberate actions to cultivate inner peace and vitality. It is not about being selfish, but rather about ensuring that you are able to show up as your best self for both yourself and others. One of the most effective ways to protect your energy is by setting clear and healthy boundaries. Boundaries are essential because they define where your energy begins and ends. Without boundaries, it is easy to become overextended, taking on the emotional or physical burdens of others at the expense of your own well-being. People often struggle with boundaries because they fear rejection, conflict, or being perceived as unkind. However, the truth is that boundaries are an act of self-respect. They allow you to protect your energy and preserve your mental, emotional, and physical health. When you set boundaries, you are teaching others how to treat you and protecting yourself from unnecessary emotional drain. Boundaries can take many forms, depending on the situation. For example, if you find yourself in a toxic or draining relationship, it may be necessary to limit your time spent with that person or to set emotional boundaries around the topics of conversation. Similarly, if you are constantly being asked to do favors or take on additional responsibilities at work or in your personal life, it is important to recognize when it is appropriate to say no. Saying no does not mean that you are being unkind or unsupportive. It simply means that you are prioritizing your own well-being. The ability to say no is a powerful tool in protecting your energy because it allows you to maintain control over where and how your energy is directed. Another key aspect of protecting your energy is becoming mindful of the people and environments you allow into your life. Not everyone you encounter will have a positive impact on your energy. Some people may drain you with their negativity, while others may bring an uplifting, positive presence into your life. Being mindful of the people you spend time with is crucial in maintaining your energy balance. Surround yourself with individuals who support, encourage, and inspire you. These are the people who will help elevate your energy, making you feel more connected to your purpose and your inner strength. On the flip side, it is important to recognize when relationships, whether personal or professional, are no longer serving you in a healthy way. Toxic relationships can siphon your energy, leaving you feeling emotionally drained, anxious, or depleted. Recognizing these relationships and taking steps to distance yourself from them is an essential part of protecting your energy. While it can be difficult to cut ties with people who may have been in your life for a long time, it is necessary for your own growth and well-being. When you let go of relationships that no longer serve you, you create space for healthier, more fulfilling connections to take their place. Equally important in protecting your energy is being mindful of your emotional state. Our emotions are powerful indicators of where our energy is flowing. If you constantly feel stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, it is likely that your energy is being pulled in many different directions. It is essential to take time to check in with yourself and recognize when you are feeling out of balance. One way to protect your energy is by learning to process and release negative emotions before they accumulate and drain you. This can be done through practices such as meditation, journaling, or engaging in activities that bring you joy and relaxation. By regularly checking in with your emotional state, you can prevent negative emotions from taking over and depleting your energy. Another powerful tool for protecting your energy is practicing mindfulness and staying present in the moment. When you are mindful, you are able to tune into your internal state and notice when something feels off or draining. You can also cultivate a sense of awareness that helps you disengage from negative thought patterns or behaviors that may be depleting your energy. Mindfulness allows you to stay focused on what is truly important and to filter out distractions that might otherwise drain your energy. Protecting your energy also involves nurturing your body and mind through self-care practices. Taking care of your physical health is essential for maintaining your energy levels. Eating nutritious foods, exercising regularly, getting enough rest, and practicing relaxation techniques such as deep breathing or yoga are all ways to restore and replenish your energy. When you prioritize self-care, you are better equipped to handle the demands of daily life and to remain centered and grounded. In addition to caring for your body, it is important to nourish your mind and spirit. This can be done through reading, engaging in creative activities, spending time in nature, or practicing gratitude. Anything that brings you peace, joy, or inspiration contributes to your overall sense of well-being and helps to protect your energy. Taking time each day to engage in activities that replenish your spirit ensures that you are maintaining a healthy balance and are able to face challenges with resilience and clarity. Protecting your energy is not a one-time effort, but a continuous practice that requires self-awareness, boundary setting, and intentionality. By being mindful of where your energy is going, nurturing your body and mind, and surrounding yourself with positive influences, you create an environment in which your energy can thrive. Remember, you are the steward of your own energy, and by protecting it, you are ensuring that you have the strength and vitality to live your life to the fullest. In conclusion, Protecting your energy is essential for maintaining balance and well-being in a world that constantly demands more of us. By setting healthy boundaries, being mindful of the people and environments we allow into our lives, managing our emotions, and engaging in regular self-care, we create the space needed to cultivate inner peace and vitality. It is not about being selfish, but rather about honoring yourself and preserving the strength necessary to show up fully in your own life. Remember, your energy is a precious resource, and it is up to you to safeguard it. When you take the time to protect your energy, you empower yourself to live more intentionally, align with your true purpose, and attract the positive experiences you deserve. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on these important principles. I hope this speech inspires you to prioritize your well-being and protect your energy moving forward. Beloved listener, let us journey into the sacred art of manifestation. Many have sought the answer to a simple yet profound question: how can I bring my desires to fruition quickly? The answer lies not in labor, nor in the approval of the world around you, but in the quiet, powerful workings of your inner world. The understanding that you are the creator of your reality is one of the most transformative realizations a person can have. It shifts you from feeling like a passive participant in life to recognizing your immense power as the architect of your experience. Life is not something that happens to you, it is something that unfolds through you. Every thought, feeling, and belief within you is a seed, and the reality you perceive is the harvest of those seeds. This principle is not just a comforting notion, it is the foundation of the creative process that governs the universe. Everything begins in the mind. The reality you experience is a reflection of the state of consciousness you occupy. If you look around and see lack, struggle, or discord, it is because, at some level, those elements exist within you. Similarly, if you observe abundance, joy, and harmony, it is because you have cultivated those states internally. The external world acts as a mirror, faithfully reflecting back to you the contents of your inner world. This is not a matter of blame but of empowerment. When you understand that you are the source of your reality, you also realize that you have the power to change it. Imagination is the key to creation. It is the divine faculty through which all things are made. Consider the great achievements of humankind, the towering skyscrapers, the intricate works of art, the breakthroughs in science and technology. Each began as a vision in someone's mind. Before they were tangible realities, they existed as ideas, nurtured and believed in until they took form. You have access to this same creative power. Your imagination is not a mere tool for idle daydreaming, it is the workshop of creation, the place where you shape the world to your liking. Alone is not enough. For your creative power to take effect, you must marry your thoughts with emotion. It is not enough to think of what you want, you must feel it. Feelings are the language of the subconscious mind, and it is your subconscious that drives your reality. When you feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, you align yourself with its vibration. In that alignment, the universe moves to bring your desire into being. The feeling is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the intangible and the tangible. Doubt and fear are the greatest obstacles to this process. When you allow these feelings to dominate your mind, you create resistance. It is like planting a seed and then digging it up every day to see if it has grown. Trust is essential. Trust that the process works, trust that your desires are valid, and trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor. This trust is not passive, it is an active state of faith, a confident knowing that what you have imagined is already on its way to you. The circumstances of your life, no matter how fixed they may seem, are not permanent. They are but the outpicturing of your past states of mind. If you do not like what you see, you have the power to change it. Change begins within. Instead of focusing on what is, turn your attention to what could be. Instead of dwelling on lack, cultivate a sense of abundance. Instead of worrying about the future, nurture feelings of peace and confidence. This is not escapism, it is the deliberate act of creating a new reality. One of the most empowering aspects of this truth is that it works universally and without exception. It does not matter who you are, where you come from, or what your current circumstances are. The laws of creation apply equally to all. The same process that brings wealth to one person can bring it to another. The same principles that foster love in one life can foster it in yours. The universe is impartial, responding not to your status or past actions, but to the vibration you emit in the present moment. But responsibility is a crucial part of this understanding. To accept that you are the creator of your reality is to take full responsibility for your life. This does not mean blaming yourself for every hardship, but recognizing that you hold the power to respond and transform. Even in situations that seem beyond your control, you have the ability to choose how you perceive and react to them. This choice is your power. When you respond with faith, hope, and creativity, you shift the energy around you, opening the door to new possibilities. There are no limits to what you can create, except those you impose upon yourself. Often, people believe they are bound by their circumstances, their upbringing, or their perceived weaknesses. But these are illusions. The only true limitation is the one you accept as real. When you release these false beliefs and step into the awareness of your creative power, the world opens up to you. You are not here to live a life of mediocrity or struggle. You are here to express the fullness of your being, to create, to thrive, and to experience the joy of bringing your visions to life. The journey of creation is one of self-discovery. As you become more conscious of your thoughts and feelings, you gain insight into who you truly are. You begin to see that your essence is not separate from the source of creation itself. You are not a small, powerless being adrift in a chaotic world. You are a spark of the divine, endowed with the ability to shape reality through the power of your mind and heart. To know that you are the creator of your reality is to awaken to your true potential. It is to step out of the role of victim and into the role of master. Life will always present challenges, but when you understand your creative power, you face them with confidence, knowing that you have the ability to transform any situation. This truth is not just a philosophy, it's a way of life. Embrace it, live it, and watch as the world transforms before your very eyes. To manifest the life you desire, there is a profound yet simple principle you must understand. You must feel as if your desire is already fulfilled. The essence of creation lies not in the act of longing or hoping, but in embodying the state of having. This principle transcends mere wishful thinking. It is the deliberate act of aligning your inner world with the reality you wish to experience. In doing so, you shift your vibration, drawing your desires into your life effortlessly and naturally. The act of feeling it as if it's already done requires you to bypass the physical senses. What your eyes see, your ears hear, and your hands touch are reflections of your past assumptions. They are not the arbiters of what is possible. If you rely solely on your senses to validate your desires, you will remain trapped in the loop of what already exists. Instead, you must turn inward, using your imagination and emotions to construct a new reality. Imagination is the gateway to creation. When you visualize your desire, do so with vivid clarity. See yourself living in the house you desire, driving the car you dream of, or experiencing the love you long for. But do not stop at the visual. Feel the joy, the excitement, the peace that comes with having it. Engage all your senses in this inner experience. If it is a home you want, imagine walking through its rooms, feeling the texture of the furniture, and hearing the sounds of the space. Make it real within you, for this inner reality is the seed of your outer reality. Feeling is the language of the subconscious mind, and it is your subconscious that holds the power to shape your life. Words alone carry little weight if they are not accompanied by feeling. To say, "I am wealthy," while feeling poor, is to send conflicting signals to your subconscious. It is the feeling behind the words that determines the outcome. When you genuinely feel as if you are already wealthy, your subconscious accepts this as truth and works tirelessly to bring it into manifestation. This process requires a deep trust in the unseen. The physical world may show no immediate evidence of your desires, but this is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that the seed is germinating. Trust that your inner work is creating shifts in the unseen realms. The moment you feel your desire as real, it begins to take form. The time it takes to materialize depends on your persistence and faith in the process. Many struggle with this principle because they allow doubt and fear to creep in. They look around and see the absence of what they want, and their faith wavers. To feel it as if it's already done, you must train yourself to focus on the inner reality rather than the outer circumstances. This requires discipline and a willingness to step beyond the limitations of the senses. It is not denial of the current reality, but a conscious choice to dwell in the reality you are creating. One of the most powerful tools for feeling it as if it's already done is gratitude. Gratitude is a state of acknowledgement and appreciation, and it is one of the highest vibrations you can emit. When you feel grateful for something, you affirm its presence in your life. Even if it has not yet materialized in the physical world, expressing gratitude for it, as if it has already arrived, signals to the universe that you are aligned with its fulfillment. This state of gratitude opens the floodgates for your desires to flow into your experience. Another aspect of this principle is detachment. To feel as if it's already done means to release the need for it to happen. Neediness creates resistance, for it comes from a place of lack. When you need something, you are affirming its absence. But when you feel as if it's already done, you enter a state of wholeness and completeness. You no longer chase or cling to your desire, because you know it is already yours. This state of detachment allows the universe to bring your desire to you in the most harmonious and effortless way. The act of feeling it as if it's already done is not confined to specific moments of meditation or visualization. It is a way of being. Throughout your day, carry the feeling of fulfillment with you. Act as if your desire has already been realized. Speak, think, and behave as the person who already has what they want. This consistent embodiment reinforces the vibration of your desire and speeds up its manifestation. It is also essential to recognize that the process of feeling it as if it's already done is not a one-time event. It is a practice. Each time you consciously generate the feeling of fulfillment, you strengthen the connection between your inner and outer realities. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and you will find yourself manifesting with greater ease and speed. When you truly feel as if your desire is already done, you eliminate all doubt. You no longer question whether it will happen because in your mind and heart, it already has. This certainty is the hallmark of a master manifester. It is not arrogance but a quiet confidence born from the understanding of universal laws. The principle of feeling it as if it's already done is a call to take control of your inner world. It is an invitation to step into the role of creator and to trust in the power of your imagination and emotions. As you practice this principle, you will come to see that the external world is but a shadow of your inner state. When you align with the feeling of your desire fulfilled, the world will shift to reflect it. You will discover that there is no limit to what you can create when you live in the knowing that it is already done. The power of intention and clarity is the foundation upon which all creation rests. Intention is the conscious choice to bring something into existence, while clarity provides the focused vision that directs your energy toward its fulfillment. Together, these elements serve as a blueprint for manifesting the life you desire. Without intention, you drift aimlessly, reacting to life rather than creating it. Without clarity, your efforts scatter in multiple directions, failing to gain the momentum necessary to bring about transformation. When intention and clarity unite, they form an unstoppable force, aligning your inner world with the infinite potential of the universe. Everything begins with intention. It is the seed from which all possibilities grow. Intention is not merely wishing or hoping, it is a deliberate act of will. It is the declaration that you are committed to bringing forth a specific outcome. When you set an intention, you send a clear message to the universe and to your subconscious mind. This message serves as a directive, activating the forces of creation to move in your favor. But for intention to work its magic, it must be genuine and focused. A vague or half-hearted intention lacks the energy to inspire action and attract the resources needed to manifest your desires. Clarity amplifies the power of intention by giving it direction. Imagine a beam of light scattered in all directions. Its impact is minimal. Now imagine that same beam concentrated into a laser. It becomes powerful enough to cut through steel. This is the difference clarity makes. When you are clear about what you want, you eliminate doubt and confusion. Your energy becomes concentrated, and your actions align effortlessly with your goals. Clarity is the anchor that keeps you steady, even when challenges arise. It allows you to see past distractions and remain focused on your ultimate destination. The process of gaining clarity begins with self-reflection. What is it that you truly desire? Not what society tells you to want or what others expect of you, but what resonates deeply with your heart and soul. To find this answer, you must look within, stripping away the noise of the external world. Ask yourself, what brings me joy? What fulfills me? What aligns with my highest purpose? The answers to these questions form the foundation of your intentions. Clarity comes when your desires are authentic, rooted in who you are rather than who you think you should be. Once you have set a clear intention, the next step is to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with it. This alignment creates coherence between your inner and outer worlds, making the manifestation process seamless. Your thoughts should consistently reflect the reality you wish to create. Your feelings should embody the emotions associated with its fulfillment: joy, gratitude, excitement, or peace. Finally, your actions should mirror your commitment to your intention. Even small, consistent steps in the direction of your goal signal to the universe that you are serious about your desire. It is essential to trust the process and remain patient. Intention and clarity are not magic wands that deliver instant results. They are guiding forces that unfold your desires in divine timing. Often people set an intention and expect immediate evidence of its manifestation. When results do not appear right away, they become discouraged and abandon their goal. This is where faith and persistence come into play. Trust that your intention has been heard and that the universe is orchestrating events to bring it to fruition. Remain steadfast, knowing that clarity and focus will eventually bear fruit. A crucial aspect of intention is detachment. While it is important to be clear and passionate about your desires, you must also let go of the need to control how and when they will manifest. Attachment creates resistance as it stems from a place of lack and fear. Detachment, on the other hand, signals confidence and trust. When you release your grip on the outcome, you allow the universe to work its magic in ways you may not have anticipated. Often the results will exceed your expectations, arriving in forms more perfect than you could have imagined. Clarity also involves understanding the deeper why behind your intention. Why do you want what you desire? What is the purpose it serves in your life? When you connect with the underlying reason for your intention, you infuse it with greater meaning and power. For example, the intention to manifest financial abundance becomes more potent when tied to a purpose, such as providing for your family, contributing to a cause, or experiencing greater freedom. This deeper why keeps you motivated and aligned, even in the face of challenges. The power of intention and clarity is not limited to personal goals. It can also be applied to broader aspects of life. Whether you seek improved relationships, better health, or a deeper spiritual connection, the process remains the same. Set a clear intention, align with it wholeheartedly, and trust in its fulfillment. When you live with intention, every moment becomes purposeful. Clarity allows you to navigate life with confidence, knowing that you are moving toward a future of your own design. The combination of intention and clarity is transformative. It empowers you to take control of your life and step into the role of creator. No longer are you at the mercy of external circumstances. You become the architect of your destiny. With intention as your compass and clarity as your guide, you chart a path toward a life that reflects your highest aspirations. This is the essence of living with purpose, and it is a gift available to all who choose to claim it. It is one of the most powerful yet misunderstood principles in the process of manifesting your desires. To many, detachment might sound like indifference or a lack of commitment, but in reality, it is the key to unlocking the speed and ease with which your desires can come to fruition. When you master the art of detachment, you free yourself from the resistance, fear, and doubt that often hinder manifestation. Detachment does not mean giving up on what you want, it means releasing the need to control how and when it will arrive, trusting that the process is unfolding perfectly in its own time. At the core of detachment is the understanding that clinging to an outcome stems from a sense of lack. When you feel an intense need for something to happen, you are energetically affirming its absence. This state of neediness creates resistance, as it signals to your subconscious mind and the universe that you do not believe your desire is already yours. The energy of lack and desperation slows down the process, making your desire seem further away than it truly is. Detachment, on the other hand, signals confidence and trust. It declares that you know your desire is already on its way and that you are at peace, regardless of the timing or the means of its arrival. When you are detached, you remain emotionally balanced. Your happiness and sense of fulfillment are not dependent on whether your desire manifests in the exact way you imagined. This emotional equilibrium is a powerful state because it aligns you with the flow of life. Instead of forcing outcomes, you allow them to unfold naturally. The universe operates in harmony with your energy, responding to the clarity of your intention and the ease of your detachment. In this state, you become a magnet for your desires, as there is no resistance blocking their manifestation. Detachment also frees you from the need to micromanage the process. Often people become fixated on how their desire will come to pass. They try to control every detail, thinking that by doing so, they can ensure its success. However, this approach often backfires, as it limits the infinite ways in which the universe can bring your desire to you. When you detach, you open yourself to possibilities beyond your imagination. You trust that the universe is infinitely resourceful and that it knows the best and most efficient way to fulfill your intention. One of the most liberating aspects of detachment is the release of time-related anxiety. When you are attached to a specific timeline, you constantly check for evidence of progress, and any perceived delay can lead to frustration and doubt. This impatience creates a vibration of resistance, which only slows down the process further. Detachment allows you to let go of the need for immediate results, knowing that everything is happening in perfect timing. Paradoxically, when you stop obsessing over how quickly your desire will manifest, it often happens much faster. Detachment also fosters a deeper connection with your inner self. When you are attached to an outcome, your focus is external. You look to the outer world for validation and confirmation that your desire is on its way. This outward focus can disconnect you from the true source of your power, which lies within. Detachment brings your attention back to your inner state, where you cultivate the feelings of joy, gratitude, and fulfillment that align with your desire. This inner alignment is what ultimately creates your external reality. A practical way to practice detachment is to shift your focus from the how and when to the what and why. Be clear about what you want and why it matters to you, but let go of the specifics of how it will happen or when it will arrive. Trust that the universe is orchestrating events in your favor and that your role is simply to stay aligned with the vibration of your desire. Focus on enjoying the present moment, knowing that your desire is already making its way to you. Gratitude is another powerful tool for cultivating detachment. When you express gratitude for what you already have and for what is coming, you affirm that you are in a state of abundance. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to fulfillment, reinforcing the belief that you are already complete. This sense of completeness dissolves the neediness and attachment that can block your manifestations. Gratitude allows you to embrace the present moment while confidently anticipating the blessings of the future. Detachment also requires a level of faith and trust in the process. It is the belief that you are supported by a loving and intelligent universe that always has your best interests at heart. When you trust the process, you no longer feel the need to control every aspect of it. You understand that sometimes what appears to be a delay or a detour is actually a necessary part of the journey. Trusting the process allows you to relax and enjoy the unfolding of your desires, knowing that everything is working out for your highest good. Detachment is about surrendering control while maintaining faith and focus. It is the balance between intention and trust, between desire and contentment. When you master detachment, you align yourself with the natural flow of creation, allowing your desires to manifest with ease and speed. You become a co-creator with the universe, working in harmony with its infinite wisdom and abundance. Detachment is not about giving up, it is about letting go of resistance and stepping into the effortless flow of life, where all things are possible. Revision can alter your path in profound and transformative ways, reshaping not only your external reality but also your internal landscape. In the process of manifestation, revision is the powerful tool that allows you to change your perception of past events, thus altering the future. Many people believe that their past defines them, that the experiences they've lived through shape who they are and what they can become. However, revision offers a liberating truth: the past is not fixed, and by changing the way you view it, you can change the course of your life. Revision begins with the understanding that time is not linear. Our perception of time is rooted in the present moment, and what we recall about the past is filtered through the lens of our current beliefs and emotions. In essence, the past exists only in our minds, and how we choose to remember it directly influences how we experience our present and future. By revising our memories, we reshape the very framework within which we live, allowing new opportunities and realities to emerge. The process of revision starts with the realization that the power to change your reality is within you. You do not need to wait for external circumstances to shift. The key lies in changing the way you feel about the past. When you alter your thoughts and emotions related to past events, you release their hold on your current life. The past no longer has the power to limit your possibilities because you have rewritten it in a way that empowers you rather than diminishing you. One of the most effective ways to revise your past is by using the power of imagination. Imagination is not merely a fantasy or daydream, it is the creative force that shapes your experience of life. Through imagination, you can mentally reconstruct events, conversations, and situations, infusing them with the emotions and outcomes you desire. For example, if you've experienced a setback or failure, you can revise the memory to reflect a positive outcome. Instead of remembering a moment of disappointment, you can imagine that everything unfolded perfectly, that the people involved reacted in a way that supported your success, and that the situation ultimately led you to a better path. By revising the past in this way, you begin to free yourself from the emotional baggage that might have been holding you back. Every time you mentally replay a revised version of an event, you are conditioning your subconscious mind to accept it as your new truth. The more you practice this revision, the more powerful the new reality becomes. You start to believe that success and fulfillment are your natural states, not something you must struggle to achieve. This process of revision can be applied not only to past events but also to relationships, self-image, and future goals. If there are aspects of your life where you feel disempowered, you can revise those areas to reflect strength, confidence, and abundance. If you face challenges in relationships, whether with family, friends, or romantic partners, you can revise those interactions to reflect love, understanding, and harmony. In doing so, you are sending a clear message to your subconscious mind that this new reality is the one you are creating. Another crucial aspect of revision is the emotional component. Emotions are the energy that drives manifestation. The energy behind your thoughts dictates the speed and effectiveness with which you manifest your desires. If your past is filled with negative emotions, such as regret, guilt, or anger, those emotions continue to influence your present state. Revision allows you to replace these lower vibrational emotions with feelings of joy, love, and gratitude. When you revise an event and feel the positive emotions associated with it, you shift your energy and vibration. This shift creates an environment where new, more aligned experiences can manifest. Revision also has the power to release the past's grip on your sense of identity. People often define themselves by their past, by the mistakes they've made, the failures they've encountered, or the challenges they've faced. But when you revise these experiences, you remove the labels that have been attached to you. You no longer see yourself as someone defined by past mistakes or limitations. Instead, you see yourself as the empowered creator of your own reality. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are free to choose who you want to be moving forward. Revision offers the freedom to reshape your future. Since your past and present are deeply interconnected, changing your past changes your present and by extension, your future. If you change the way you feel about past obstacles, failures or limitations, you create a new trajectory for your life. You begin to see new possibilities, ones that were once hidden beneath the weight of past beliefs. The revised version of your past becomes the foundation for a future built on success, abundance and happiness. It is important to note that revision is not about ignoring or denying your past experiences. It is not about pretending that negative things didn't happen or that challenges didn't exist. It is about shifting the meaning you attach to those experiences. When you revise, you are not erasing the past, you are changing your perception of it. You are choosing to see every event as an opportunity for growth, every obstacle as a stepping stone to greater success. You are acknowledging that everything in your life has brought you to this moment, and that you now have the power to change the course of your future. The beauty of revision is that it is always available to you. No matter what has happened in your life, you can begin the process of rewriting it at any time. Every moment presents a fresh opportunity to change your mind, to revise your story, and to create a new path forward. The key to manifestation is not simply wishing for change, it is actively participating in the creation of your reality by revising your past, revising your beliefs, and revising your perceptions. In doing so, you step into your power as the creator of your life, knowing that the path ahead is always within your control. Persistence is the key that unlocks the door to your deepest desires. It is the unwavering belief in your vision, the constant effort, and the firm conviction that no matter how long it takes, your desire will eventually manifest. It's the understanding that the process of creation doesn't always happen instantly, but that persistence, combined with faith, will eventually make your vision solidify into reality. When you persist, you are engaging in a powerful act of creation, shifting your inner world so that your outer world must align with it. Your desire, when persistently held in your mind, must harden into reality, as the law of manifestation dictates. In manifestation is not about forcing the universe to deliver or trying to bend reality to your will. Instead, it's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions so that they are in harmony with the desire you wish to bring into existence. It's about holding on to your vision with steady faith, regardless of external circumstances. When you persist, you build momentum. Just as a seed planted in the earth eventually pushes through the soil after enduring the right conditions, your desire will break through into the physical realm once the right conditions, belief, emotion, and persistence are maintained. The most important part of persistence is the mental and emotional consistency that you maintain. Your thoughts and feelings are the building blocks of your reality. They are the forces that shape your experience, creating an energetic match for your desires. The act of persisting is an act of aligning your energy to the feeling of already having what you want. When you persist in maintaining this alignment, it doesn't matter what you see in the external world. What matters is the faith you continue to hold, knowing that the energy you have invested in your desire is making it more real every day. Persistence in manifestation requires unwavering belief. Doubt and uncertainty have the power to undo all the progress you've made. The universe is neutral, it simply reflects what you put out into the world. So when you persist, you must also guard your thoughts. You cannot allow the outside world to sway your belief. What you focus on expands. By persisting in holding the image of your desired reality, you allow that vision to imprint upon your subconscious mind. And once your subconscious is fully aligned with your desire, it begins to reshape your external world to match that vision. This persistence is not about exerting force or willpower. It is about a deep, quiet certainty that your desire is already yours. The key is in continuing to hold that belief, even when the evidence of its manifestation is not yet visible. The world may not instantly reflect your thoughts, but by consistently and persistently holding the vibration of your desire, you align yourself with the frequency that will eventually cause it to materialize. An essential part of persistence is not wavering when things don't appear to be going as expected. The delay or seeming absence of your desire is not a signal to give up. It is an opportunity for you to deepen your belief and trust in the process. Understand that reality is malleable, and what appears to be an obstacle or delay is simply the universe rearranging things behind the scenes. When you persist, you give the universe the space and time it needs to align everything in perfect order for your manifestation to unfold. The more you persist, the more the universe responds, as it begins to solidify the outcome you've been visualizing and feeling. Manifestation is an energetic process, and persistence means continuing to nurture that energy. It's about cultivating an emotional state that is in harmony with your desired outcome. When you hold on to your vision and consistently embody the feelings of having already achieved it, the law of attraction kicks into action. The emotional energy you put out, coupled with your mental focus, creates the conditions for your desire to materialize. This doesn't mean that everything will come immediately, but it does mean that your persistence ensures that the process is moving forward, whether you can see it or not. Persistence also requires you to take inspired action. While you don't need to force things into being, the universe does respond to action that aligns with your desire. When you take action with faith, knowing that you are walking in the direction of your dream, the universe will start to open doors and provide opportunities that align with your vision. Persistence in this sense is about staying engaged with your desire while being open to the flow of opportunities and possibilities that come your way. Another crucial element of persistence is the mental discipline to shut out negative influences. This means not listening to the voices of doubt or skepticism, whether from others or your own mind. The energy of doubt interferes with the process of manifestation, as it sends conflicting signals to the universe. When you persist, you cultivate the inner strength to ignore distractions, criticism, and fear. You stay focused on your vision, no matter what the outside world tells you. You also need to practice patience as part of persistence. The process of manifestation often takes time, and even though you may feel that your desire is not appearing quickly enough, your persistence in holding the vision is what is slowly creating the conditions for it to come into being. Understand that the universe is working on your behalf, aligning people, situations, and opportunities to bring you exactly what you've asked for. While you may not see the immediate results, persistence requires you to trust in the unfolding process. Persistence is not about forcing results or obsessing over the outcome. It's about maintaining a steady belief, a consistent alignment with your desire, and an unwavering trust in the process. When you persist, you are sending a message to the universe that you believe in your desire and that you will not be swayed by external circumstances. The more you persist, the more your desire becomes an undeniable reality, eventually solidifying into the physical world. As you continue, you will witness the transformation, as your thoughts, emotions, and actions all come together to create the life you've been visualizing. It is this persistence, this continual nurturing of your vision, that ensures that your desire will harden into reality, just as the seed eventually blossoms into the full manifestation of its potential. In conclusion, the journey of manifestation is one of deep faith, persistent effort, and unwavering belief. It is a process where the mind, emotions, and actions work in unison to create the reality you desire. From the power of intention and clarity to the practice of revision and detachment, each element plays a crucial role in shaping your world. The key is to remain persistent, knowing that your desires are already on their way and that the universe is always working behind the scenes to align everything in perfect timing. But keep nurturing your vision, remain consistent in your efforts, and trust the process, for in doing so, your reality will inevitably transform. Thank you for joining me today. May your journey of manifestation be filled with unwavering belief, inspired action, and the joy of seeing your dreams unfold into reality.